What's up, guys? Jim from Wrestle Wellbeing here. I'm obviously joined today by my very good friend Liam from Magical Wrestling, and obviously my Shannon's here because today we are reviewing the Toyal Rumble 2 from this past weekend at Kingdom Wrestling alongside the Hot Tag Foundation. For me, was an absolutely fantastic event. Liam, what was your opinion?
Solid, absolute solid. And you know, I think you're right. I mean, I don't think we've ever laughed so much and smiled so much at a show we've been to.
Definitely, mate. I mean, obviously we got there for I think it were about 4:45 we got there. Other reason
Yeah,
why
but we could have
didn't
got there earlier if you didn't actually went to the wrong place.
Well, I was just about to say that if you let me finish, you knob. Yeah, I accidentally went to St. Paul's Church instead of St. Peter's Church. But anyway, we got there and we were greeted very, very warmly by Gareth Angel, the owner of Kingdom Wrestling, and the rest of the people there. Obviously, my very good friend Steve Grimshaw, who's been on the channel. He embraced me very warmly with a big bear hug. Massive shout out to Steve Grimshaw, love you, man. And yeah, let us get set up and everything. And they couldn't have been any more courteous and showing better hospitality. What do you think, Liam?
I mean, the thing is, it was finally great to obviously see Gareth in person. And I had to look back, and it's actually my fourth interview I ever did with Gareth. Do you know what I mean? So that's how far back we're going. And for people obviously listening, do you know what I mean? Gareth's story is just incredible. Do you know what I mean? I mean, I've obviously spoken to him. I know his story really, really well. And what he's doing, obviously, with Kingdom Wrestling is just, do you know what I mean? I mean, we've been obviously to what? Is it 3 shows now we've been together? And this is probably, it's up there for me, let's be honest.
Definitely, mate. I mean, like you said, Gareth's done a lot for Kingdom Wrestling with obviously the religious side of things. There's the mental health side of things, which I'm obviously a big fan of. I did try to get Gareth on earlier this year, but sadly he had to cancel because family reasons, which obviously family comes first with everything. Hopefully I can get Gareth on sometime next year. Did manage to get some quick fire questions with him, and yeah, it was brilliant. So shall we tell everybody about what actually happened before the show started, Liam?
Yeah, go for it. Why not?
So for people that don't know, which obviously people will not know this, that we actually were sat waiting to start the stream, wait for doors open, and before we knew it, we were dragged. Well, basically, we were drawn into the team meeting, which actually told us how the show was going to go. So myself, Liam, and Shannon were all sat at my laptop that I'm using now, the microphone, thinking, "Are we supposed to be in on this?" So I'm pretty sure that we're getting all the spoilers here. I think we need to go and stand outside, but we just sat there like it's like those nerdy kids at school that get put to the back of the class, like, I best shut up, I'm not going to get involved, and this, like, other. And we were just like, right, looks like we're involved in this shit.
I think that's the thing. I mean, we spent more time being actually surprised about it than we actually didn't really taking in what would happen. So, like, by the time they finished the meeting, I'm going, so what's happening?
Yeah. Luckily, we didn't spoil anything whilst on stream, and we didn't say anything while we were on stream, just because I think because of all the excitement and all the just obviously graciousness of being there, I think we just kind of forgot as to what we were told, sort of thing.
Plus, I was trying to not take it in. I was trying to like avoid not listening.
But here's the thing, right? And I've got a question for you both here. Bearing in mind, obviously, what we obviously listened and stuff like that, did that change your perception of the show?
No, because in a way you still didn't understand know what were going to happen or in which order as well. So it didn't really give much away because as well they didn't use the normal actual wrestling names as well. So it didn't actually give it away unless you actually knew the wrestler themselves.
Mm-hmm. I think,
which
yeah,
for me, I didn't know any of them.
No, I mean, when she was like, who's that person? Who's that person? But no, I mean, it's probably one of those things which is going to stick with me to know that we've actually sat in on a team meeting about a wrestling show. It's just, you can't get any better than that, right, mate?
Yeah, exactly, bud. I mean, like I said, us three were just sat there like looking around at each other, thinking, "Are we supposed to be on this shit?" Like sort of thing. But yeah, so doors opened at 6, and the show started at 6:15. It filled up really quickly for me. Like I'm not like obviously not knocking UKW or anything like that, but when the doors opened, it filled up near enough straight away. I mean, first person that saw is our very good friend Wrestling Jeebus, and we always shout out Wrestling Jeebus. So yeah, shout out Wrestling Jeebus. Make sure you check him out. So everyone's mum, including Evan Bishop's mum, jobbing with Nikki, who we all love. She came over and gave us all a big hug. Nikki. And yeah, Nikki actually said to us that she'd been there since 12 o'clock that afternoon, and she was absolutely knackered. So, I mean, we love the poor lass, but she needs to slow down.
She does, but do you know what? Do you know what I mean? Credit to her. Do you know what I mean? She's done so many great things. I mean, you've obviously interviewed her recently.
Literally last night, literally I had her on the podcast last night. It was so fun talking to Nikki. Literally got to the end of the interview, which was about an hour and a half long, and my cheeks were hurting, my throat was hurting, and it was just brilliant. If you are watching this, Nikki, I'm going to say something that's going to make you laugh. Nibbles. You know what I mean? So I said that to Nikki on stream, and she literally laughed for about 10 minutes straight, and like she just could not collect herself, and it was just brilliant. But yeah, there was obviously two people that kept not exactly interrupting the stream, but they kept involving
making appearances.
Making appearances, involving themselves on the stream. Obviously, Liam, you know the people that I'm talking about more personally, sort of thing. So, do you want to take it away?
Yeah, so there's two people on this thing, and they're probably going to be watching this, and they're probably going to message me going, "Shut up." I'm just going to say Chloe and obviously Ben, who kind of, I don't know, did they take over the stream? Did they just interrupt? How would you describe it?
More like appear. And wanted to say hello and stuff and get involved. It was like more that they wanted to get involved more than interrupt.
Yeah, I mean, I can agree with that. It is kind of funny though when you're trying to watch a show and you just see this voice in the corner going, "Oh, I'm in a horror house or something."
Yeah. What's funny is that if you look on Liam's screen, you can actually see the stream behind Liam, and every now and again you'll just see two people popping up every now and again. Obviously, Chloe and Ben part of Fast Count, but then you also had the Hot Dog Foundation guys there as well. They were jostling around with them and having a good laugh, which obviously made us laugh and just made the show even better. So, should we get into actual match card and actual review of the show itself, mate?
Yeah, and then we can obviously just make up time for the ending bit. Take it away.
Yes.
Before you do start, the thing that when we were in the meeting before, it was kind of good to see the behind the scenes and knowing that they go through everything before they go on, and that were really good to see that it's very organized and how it plays out.
Yeah, and it's like you mentioned there. I mean, that's one thing that we've never had the privilege to do, and just to see that, do you know what I mean? Because I would say for me personally, and I want to get your guys' thoughts on this as well, is I was fortunate. I'm fortunate, to be able to witness something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely, bud. I mean, what I loved in particular is the fact that obviously we could see the guys doing the practice of the matches and everything, and you could hear them calling spots and what have you, and it just shows the level of professionalism sort of thing, that there's no egos, there's no, I think we should do this, I want to do this, I want to do that. It was, especially with guys like Matty Carter, Jack Johnson himself, from also Big John Fitness, they were all like, what do you want to do? What spot do you want to do? So that sort of thing, which just shows that there's very little, if any, ego whatsoever.
Absolutely and stuff. And I think it's great to see the people who we've interviewed. I mean, we'll go for obviously the match breakdown and stuff like that, but there were so many people who I've interviewed, you've interviewed, and just to see, I always like this idea of, going to supporting them.
Yeah, definitely. It just feels right that we should go and support them, just because obviously they've taken the time out of the busy bit of their busy lives, the busy schedules, to just give us a bit of their time, really.
But there were one main person that we've seen wrestle before.
Which is?
You mean young Horace?
I can't remember his name. Sorry.
Young Horace.
I
Young
can't
Horace.
remember the name then. I was
Obviously,
trying to remember.
me and you saw Horace at SPW at New Lodge Liam, and then we saw Horace at UKW, which were quite surreal, really, because at UKW it was a heel, but for Kingdom Wrestling it was a face.
I think that's credit obviously to Horace himself. Do you know what I mean? To be able to do heel stuff, obviously. I mean, I've interviewed the guy and stuff like that, so you go and watch that on our channel. But yeah, I mean, it's great to see that he can do that in this place and then do that in a different place. Because I always think for me when it comes to wrestling, wrestlers need to do face and heel. Do you know what I mean? Try to do both in a way.
Yeah, and to remember who he is for that day as well.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
If he's
absolutely.
face
Imagine
or
that going.
heel.
Wait, I'm a heel here. Oh no, wait, I'm a face. Wait, what? What am I happening?
Yeah.
It's like when you can't make your mind up at a restaurant, isn't it? I'll have a steak. No, I'll have pasta. No, I'll have a steak. No, I'll have pasta. No, I'll have a steak. No, no. That one of them things. It's like I can't remember.
No, absolutely.
For me, it just shows a level of professionalism in young Horace, which we know that he's got spades of because there are great ears in the ring.
And also, I want to point out, do you know what I mean? There's a lot of people, and you have to be honest as well, is a lot of this talent we saw in the Rumble, we've never seen before. Do you know what I mean? In a way, so it was nice to see, some new talent.
Definitely. I mean, just to name a few, we've got Onyx. There was Scooter, which we've seen for the first time. Big John, Big Buffer, Hammerhead Smith Jr. There was Damon Crow, which I was quite excited to see watching because I'd seen a few clips of him online, not actually seen anything in person. Billy O'Keefe, Scarlett herself, which you have had on your channel, my friend. Brandon Prince as well, and Tommy Rocker. Quite a few people that we've never seen before.
As well as quite a few trainees as well, which were really good that we saw. Getting them having their own first matches properly.
Yeah, I mean, I think that because I remember rightly with the trainees, there were, I think I've got the card here. Was it 7 to 10? I think it was, or maybe just before.
Something like that, yeah.
Well, we can talk into that more as we go along through the matches.
Yeah, absolutely. So, James, do you want to take it away, mate, with the first match?
Yeah, mate. So we don't have a graphic for this one, but we've got a graphic for the other matches. First to kick off, which for me it's always weird for it to be like this. We're kicking off with the World Championship match between the champion Jack Johnson and the challenger Billy O'Keefe. For me, what I just spoke to Nicky about this last night. We were obviously trying to do a little bit of commentary. Nicky was on commentary with Gareth Angel himself because Gareth sadly was injured and he still is. Best of luck to you, Gareth. I hope that you recover as soon as possible and are back in the ring. So everyone was booing Jack, cheering Billy, but I was trying to get us kicked out and I was cheering Jack and booing Billy just because I've had Jack on my podcast and I really love the guy. He's absolutely fantastic. So yeah. What were your thoughts on match, Liam?
So, like you said, I mean, I've seen much. I haven't seen much of Jack. I've seen a lot of Billy stuff, and I always find it weird when a world title match starts the show. But do you know what? I'm always solid match. You know what I mean, it's a solid opener. You got your standard heel versus face, and yeah, I mean, I will be honest. I was a bit surprised that Billy won. I'm not taking away obviously from anything, but for some reason, I just thought Jack was going to win. But as you know, mate, look what happened at the end.
Exactly, mate. I mean, it's like they say, anything can happen in professional wrestling, and that is exactly what happened. For me, Jack is one of the best young talents in the UK wrestling scene at the moment in time. He's absolutely fantastic. He's fantastic at selling. He's fantastic at making using strong style wrestling, which is absolutely brilliant. But for me, Billy was quite an underdog, but he played into it really well. Obviously, we saw towards the end, Jack did the typical heel trait of walking off, thinking that he was done. And then the announcer, cannot remember his name for the life of me. I think it's Phil Robinson is
Yep.
the guy that, yeah. He came out, said, no, this is going to be a no disqualification match. You're getting back in. You need to get back in, this, that, and other. Was quite a couple of near falls with Jack hitting his finisher, someone else's cutter, which I think is quite funnily named because he's a big Randy Orton fan. And then, yeah, we ended up with a brand new world champion in Billy O'Keefe. Shannon, what were your thoughts on the match?
I think it were really good because it were like they were both showing really good moves between each other, and it could have gone either way because they were both like proper challenging each other. And then where you thought it would nearly end the match, and then they were like, "No, I'm not letting you pin me." Then it were again and again. So it were like that. They were keep going where I'm not ending. I'm not letting you win, and it were really good.
This is one of those matches, just to add on what obviously Shannon just said there, is you couldn't pick a winner. Do you know what I mean? Both talent were absolutely incredible, you know, back and forth and stuff like that. And I always like that type of match where you can't see who's going to win and stuff. But as you mentioned there, I mean, Billy, solid champion and stuff like that. And I want to see more of Billy. I'm going to be honest.
Yeah, definitely. There is one thing that I forgot to mention, though, that when Jack almost won after hitting Billy with, I think it was the title, Slugger Hampton came out, pulled the referee and stopped the count of 3, which we will talk about in a bit, ended up costing him in the Rumble. So moving on to the next one, which was the Fatal 4-Way, which was Tommy Rocker
Do you want to talk about the... Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. There's a play fast count video after that.
Oh, yeah, there was the fast count video. I can't actually remember what was on the video, to be honest.
So that was William Valor, which is somebody who I know really, really well, weirdly. He's going to be in the Rumble, but he's not coming alone. He's bringing backup. So that was kind of interesting to see who he's going to bring.
Definitely. So yeah, that was quite a weird one. Obviously, seeing the video, we were setting up for the Rumble, and then we went on to the Fatal 4-Way match, which was Tommy Rocker versus Indigo Jones versus Scooter versus Rocket Underwood. Now, the winner of this match became the 30th entrant in the Rumble, and the person who was pinned became got into the Rumble at number 1. I think Shannon will say it a bit better in a bit when I put it over to her, but I think the match when it first started was more of a genitalia measuring contest rather than an actual wrestling match. Just because obviously the guys' impressive physiques were spending more time flexing and showing off their very big muscles rather than actually starting the match. What did you think about it, Liam?
I mean, Tommy Rocker, do you know what I mean? We've seen him obviously at SPW, solid worker. I mean, you compared to the first match, I mean, I'm all for entertainment and stuff like that. I didn't see Shannon's face on that one. I wished I did now.
I think I was kind of like, oh. Do you know that thing of like when you see men just like, oh, I'm better than you, or this, and you think, oh my words, what the hell is happening here? And it was like, yeah, it's alright men doing that, which I don't have a problem with, but it was just like in the match, in that you were like, are you gonna fight each other, or are you gonna just show out who's better looking than each other?
I just want to point out some as well, James. I mean, how many chops were in this match?
Mate, how many were that bad that me and you basically felt it on his chest?
Yeah, I think this is the one where there was one in it. I can't remember who it was, where he did a chop, and if you watch the stream, we just go, "Ooh!"
I think it was Scooter did it to Indigo Jones. I think it was that.
I think it was something along them lines. Yeah, and that chop. Oh my god! Even I was like, How?
Yeah, but it got to that limit where we were like, we might as well have a countdown, a count of how many there were.
There must
because
have at
it
least
ended
been what 10 or 15 at least.
Oh, just in that one match.
I was
Yeah,
gonna say
just
it ended in other matches as well, didn't it? So it were like adding more and more, and you were feeling more of the pain.
yeah. Sorry for you people like you. We're just going. Oh,
If you voluntarily will take a chop, you've obviously got a screw loose. That's why I have volunteered to take one.
yeah, but look who you've volunteered to take it from.
Mustafa Khan, the guy with the biggest hands in all of UK wrestling.
There you go. Do you know what I mean?
But yeah,
Right.
so the match itself was absolutely fantastic. Really, really good spots and everything, and things like that. In the end, Mr. Tommy Rocker pinned Indigo Jones to get the win and claim the number 30 spot. Obviously, that meant that Indigo Jones was allocated the number 1 spot, obviously giving him a massive disadvantage. Which I think, if I'm honest, was the right result, because I think that putting Indigo Jones at the number 1 spot, it's with his character being the most beautiful person in UK wrestling, it sort of like is the type of guy that you want to see get chopped, you want to see get beaten up, you want to see take punishments and this, that, and other. So I think it was the right result. What do you think, Liam?
I mean, I can see why. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, I can't really disagree with that, to be honest with you. You know what I mean? Solid guy and stuff like that. And yeah, he's one of the most likable characters, but it can easily be hated as well.
Definitely.
Yeah, totally agree with that.
So obviously, match number 3 was a one-on-one contest where the winner of this match became the number 1 contender to the World Championship, which was Hammerhead Smith Jr. versus Young Horace. Obviously, me, you, and Shannon have all seen Young Horace before. Hammerhead Jr. We've not seen him before, but I've got to say, he put up a really good effort with this match. What did you think, bud?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, I mean, we've seen Young Horace, even though he's like a small guy, do you know what I mean? He can work the big, like mostly guys, he can work the high flyers. That's one thing I like about Horace is no matter who he's up against, whether he's up a powerhouse, high flyer and stuff like that, he can work that guy really well. And he's selling, do you know, when he's taking like the punishment is probably one of the best, let's be honest.
Definitely, mate. Go on, Shannon.
But with him playing the face or the heel, he separates it so well, which you can see that in the moves that he's using as well, and the way his position is set in the wrestling ring as well, which is really impressive.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's well said, well said.
Definitely. So, obviously, through the match was really good. Obviously, young Horace selling like crazy. Hammerhead Junior using his size, his strength against Horace. Horace did get a couple of good shots in. Got to the end. Hammerhead Junior was the heel and Horace was the face. But at the end of the match, Hammerhead Junior was the victor, and we actually saw a face turn with Hammerhead giving young Horace his props, giving him respect, shaking his hand after the match, which it's always nice to see. Yeah, it was a good result and a really good match. What did you think about it, Liam?
I think it's a solid match, and one thing I always like is like when wrestlers get the respect earned, because respect's always earned, it's not given. Do you know what I mean? Stuff like that. And when it comes to wrestling, the only way you're going to earn respect is by getting in the ring with them. And it's like I said, Horace is not one of these where he'll shy away from who he's in the ring with. He'll get in the ring with the powerhouses, the high flyers, even with the like women as well. Do you know what I mean?
Definitely, bud. Anything to add on?
Well, with the Hammerhead, where you won't expect him to turn around and give that respect because of what he said before he got in the ring and stuff like that, what's been happening in the past with forgot his name. Well,
Gareth?
yeah.
Yeah, Big Gareth.
Yeah,
Because
Big Gareth.
we forgot to mention that before the match actually started, Gareth gave a little talk, obviously about his injury and about the event itself. And Hammerhead actually came out and cut a little promo on Gareth, which obviously cemented that he was a heel. And then obviously he turned face after the match, which was all well and good.
Which, when that happened, and then seeing that match, you were like, oh, I wasn't expecting him to turn around and give young Harris his respect with him being that heel.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So obviously, we then had a 15-minute interval, which we stretched our legs and everything like that. I did a bit of talking to some people at the event itself,
Jeebus.
and then we had Jeebus, and myself and Shannon got told off by Nikki because I did the quick fire questions with Gareth, and it was like 30 seconds until they were back on, and she was like, "Get out my chair, get out my chair, get out my chair, get out my chair."
Time.
But yeah, big love to Nikki. Absolutely.
You just see James trying to like. Actually, you want to mention about Lunatic Louise as well?
Oh yes, definitely. So special mention. I was actually going to mention this a bit later on when we do obviously the categories. So performer of the night, match of the night, and honourable mentions and things like that. Spot of the night. Got to chat with a very lovely young man called Lunatic Louise. He's an avid viewer of my channel, and I think he is of yours as well, Liam. He's a fantastic man. He's around the UK wrestling scene. I mentioned to Nikki yesterday that, in my opinion, herself and Wrestling Jeebus are two of the four pillars of UK wrestling. I think that Louise has got to be up there as well, just because of the amount of work that he does for UK wrestling itself, not just a single promotion. Excuse me. Just the amount of effort that he puts into every show. Is an absolutely fantastic young man, and massive credit to Louise just because of how much of a brilliant person he is.
Absolutely.
But as well, before we get into the last match, all this we're going to charity.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but bloody fast count, it keeps messaging me. So apparently we've got to. Do you know when we get to their entrance, we've got to call them by the names? By the way.
Oh God. But yeah, as Shannon was saying, the event itself was for charity. It was in collaboration with the Hot Tag Foundation, which we've got a picture of the guys here. Just a couple of the guys. Obviously, Lauren, the female, I've actually interviewed on my channel, along with a friend as well, Jamie Lee. And so the event itself was for charity, and we donated quite a substantial amount of toys to the cause. I think we spent about 100 quid altogether. Took those in, and what the Hot Tag Foundation does with the toys that are donated is they package them and distribute them to I believe it was this time Airedale Hospital and Bradford Royal Infirmary. Bradford Royal Infirmary is a hospital that's quite close to myself because I actually go to work there once a month, and do a service there, sort of thing. So yeah, it's just a fantastic cause for people to get behind. If we could get more people to donate some toys next time that they do an event like that, that'd be absolutely fantastic. I think when the guys counted it, there were 91 toys in total, which for me it's massive. It's fantastic. Can't fault them whatsoever. The fact that people spent their hard-earned money and donated all them toys, it's fantastic,
including themselves.
Yeah, definitely.
God, how big is that jug?
Oh, that big.
All right, fair enough.
Sorry about that.
Sorting dog out. So yeah, we got to the main event, which was the Toyal Rumble itself. Number one was Indigo Jones, as we knew, and number two was Slugger Hampton. Obviously, two very hard-hitting guys hitting each other, knocking 10 bells of shit out of each other, as they should do. And And then, so I said to you on the stream, Liam, what's the game plan for these two guys? Obviously, it's very difficult for them to knock 10 bells of shit out to each other straight away because they'll use all their energy up. Then they won't be able to get through the rest of the 28 people. What for that brief 100 seconds or however long it was before the third entrance came in? What were your favorite bit of those two's interaction, bud?
There's two powerhouses, you know what I mean? I'm a massive fan of like two powerhouse people just absolute going hell for leather. And you asked us, and I remember, what's the strategy and stuff like that? I mean, you want to try and get the people out as fast as you can because you've, like you said, you've got 28 other people just come basically gunning for you. Do you know what I mean? Gunning?
Definitely, bud. Shannon, anything to add?
Not at the moment.
No worries.
Sorry.
So yeah,
Nothing.
after the next entrant was an absolute giant of a man mountain. It was Onyx, and I looked to you straight away and said, "Onyx the Pokemon." Obviously, we had a good laugh at that.
But do you know what though? I mean, Onyx. Do you know what I mean? I've never seen him before wrestling. And do you know what? He really held his own. I was really impressed. This is probably one which I've tried to obviously find more stuff on him because he just looked. He got the physique, he got the character, and I felt like at that early stage going, okay, let's see what you can do.
Definitely, bud. I mean, he did a lot of the obviously big power moves, the big moves that Giants do, and I think he did really, really well to hold his own. Next up was young Horace, who'd been in the match before earlier.
Literally match before, weren't it?
Literally the match before. So I do think that young Horace was at a massive disadvantage. Obviously, he used quite a lot of his energy, a lot of his strength. But I still think that young Horace had a good showing. Obviously, we can't remember the actual eliminations themselves because we did it last week and we haven't got that good of memories and we've slept since then. But anyway.
Plus, we saw that many things happening as well. It were a bit crazy to keep track of what who we're going at first and when.
Yeah.
Definitely. Next up, number 5 was Dagger Daniels. I think the from here till about probably 10th, I think this is when the trainees came in. So we'll quick fire these. Number 5 was Dagger Daniels. Number 6, Little Josh. Number 7, Ethan. Number 8, Joel. Number 9, Cruzado. And number 10, Sophia. For me, Liam, I think that these trainees did really, really well in the Rumble. Obviously, it's their first event sort of thing, but I think they really held their own, and there wasn't many bits where you would say, yeah, they're definitely a trainee. For me, especially Ethan and Joel, they looked like main eventers already, like the main roster wrestlers already. What did you think, bud?
I think one thing I like as well is how perfectly placed it was. I mean, it's not too late in the Rumble, it's at the start. And every time, obviously, each one came in, they got the chance to shine. Do you know what I mean? Each wrestler obviously were down for obvious reasons and stuff like that. And yeah, and I like that type of thing because, like I said, it's giving them that exposure. We don't obviously know how long they've been wrestling and stuff like that. But I mean, yeah, I mean, you can't really get any better than that, can you, to be honest?
Exactly, bud. Shannon.
Well, like when we were saying on the live stream, like when we were saying that it's really good that they're letting trainees come out and show the moves and what they've got and what they're made of, really. And it's really good that they get that opportunity to be in front of crowds and get that feeling because it's so hard. Like I said on the stream, that sometimes there's bad things in the crowd or bad vibes or good vibes, and getting that in while you're training still learns how to adapt yourself. That it's not actually me, it's just my character that they're having that feeling with. So it's like not taking it too personal, and it's like learning all that as well, which can be really hard to separate that sometimes.
Thanks so much, Shannon. You're on point tonight. I'm really impressed.
She's doing her best.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'm impressed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think it's just hearing your two talk, so then I like take in little bits that you're not saying.
Well, as we can help me, that's why we're here.
Exactly. So then at number 11 was Alfie Squire. Number 12, Scooter, who'd have been in the Fatal 4-Way match just before. Number 13 was Arlo. And number 14 was Dimit from the Hot Tag Foundation themselves, which we weren't expecting whatsoever. And then it kind of...
Got a bit interesting.
Yeah, it got really interesting, this bit. So... it was the guys from the from Fast Count, which Liam, I'm told that you have been told that we have to say all their names. If you would be so kind to rattle them off, bud, because I don't have their names written down. I know one of them. He's been on the channel. He's been on your channel as well, Mr. Matty Carter. Really awesome guy. But yeah, mate, if you want to take it away with the names of the Fast Count guys.
Yep. So anyway, so the Alan Kay, Jimmy McIlwee, Vusic, Matty Carter, and William Vella, sorry, they are collectively as Fast Count. And do you know what? I've got to be honest, as much as people might not like this, I kind of like this mentality thing that they actually did.
Yeah, I like it as well. But it very much reminiscent of like the Shield back in like the early 2010s. Just end of the day, it's a faction that's going to band together and try and eliminate everyone else so that they can get what they want, which is what a faction is made to do, sort of thing. And a bunch of heels. So yeah, I quite liked it. The way that they did it, getting rid of the bigger threats and things like that. And then we were, and then the size of people definitely shifted up a gear. The next person, obviously, Big John of Big John Rehab. There's a reason why it's called Big John.
He's massive.
He's 4'2". He's 4'2". No, he must have been at least
taller than me.
What, 6'5", 6'6".
I mean, this is 6'7".
Yeah, this is a guy that if you saw him in the gym and it stood on your toe, you'd just go, "I'm sorry that my foot got in your way," because he is just an absolute mammoth of a guy. He's massive.
But we're like, oh shit.
Like that.
Didn't he walk past us and we're like, holy shit?
Yeah.
But like when I think I said on the stream how funny or how brilliant would it be if Big John and Big
Popper
were a joint
tag team.
Like,
can you just imagine that'd be just brutal.
Just of them two being together, and you think it's like shit. I'm not messing with them two.
I think we spent about 10 minutes trying to think up of a tag team name, and I just went, "Well, you just call them Big, the Bigs." So then, obviously, Shannon mentioned Big Bopper came out just after John. The Fast Count group tried to overwhelm John, obviously beating him down, and then John did the big exploding spot where everyone was flying and was all really impressive to see. Then came out Hammerhead Jr. Sorry. What's up?
Sorry, but the thing of Big John, the bit where he went like that to people, I can't remember who the war. I were expecting him to like
double choke slam.
Yeah, double choke slam straight down, and it didn't.
I'm sorry, but look at the stream. I'm sorry, but look at the stream behind me.
Yeah. So was that Chloe or was that
that was Ben?
Ben. Oh. Yeah. Just want to point it out. We don't think that Hot Tag Foundation sucks. That is Fast Count. Just putting it out there, just so that everyone knows. So yeah.
But as I was saying, like I thought he were gonna do it, and then he didn't. I was like, "What? Why?" I wanted to just see him do it. It was that move where you were like, and then you didn't see it, and I was like, "Oh my god."
Yeah.
Yeah.
So next up, Hammerhead Jr. came out. Then it was the Barista that came out. Kobe Woods came out, and then someone that we've been looking forward to seeing, Damon Crow. Seen a couple of things of Damon on his Instagram and what have you, and it was he's really impressive. He didn't get that much. Didn't get to show off as much as he usually does, but that's just the nature of the Rumble sort of thing. Next up was WrestleMosh, then Gas Kelly, we had Reese Miller joining just after, and then we were joined by Riot. The Rumble started to get in a bit more fuller, and quite a bit more people started entering, and it was getting a bit crowded, if we're going to be honest. What did you think, Liam?
Yeah, I mean, that's the only downside I hate about Rumbles when you've got like 19, like 19, like 10 wrestlers in at the time. You kind of try and focus on one thing, but you can't because it's just so crammed.
Exactly, mate. I mean, you've got buddies flying everywhere. You've got spots all over the place. So you're like, "Oh, this is happening. Oh, this is happening. Oh, this is happening. This is happening. This is happening." It's like, well, I can't keep track of you.
But the main thing that we could keep track were when Hammerhead ended up like kind of joining the fast count where they passed him the shirt.
Oh shit! Yeah, I forgot about that.
Turn on him, on them.
Yeah. So obviously, Hammerhead was in the ring, and there was also Slugger Hampton. The fast count guys were beating up Slugger Hampton, and they gave Hammerhead a shirt with their logo on, gave him a chair as well to hit Slugger with. He turned around and actually cleared the ring of the fast count guys, which was always good to see, because obviously no one likes to see a heel faction getting an upper hand.
No, but that's when it started, where it started getting to a point where wrestlers were starting to come out of the ring, going over the ropes then. So that's when it started to getting less wrestlers in ring, where then you could keep track of what were happening then.
Yeah.
It was still good either way of that.
Nothing to add.
So came down to the last couple of entries. The former world champion Jack Johnson made his entrance at number 26, in which we saw Jack go after Slugger, eliminating Slugger and then beating him up outside, because Slugger was the reason that Jack lost his title in the first place. Number 27, Scarlett joined us. Number 28, Brandon Prince. And finally, number 29, Tommy Rocker turned up. So as we got towards the end of the match, I mean, I were knackered, me and mate. I were absolutely shattered. I was like, please, for the love of God, can we just finish this? Because I'm knackered. I want to go home. Absolutely loved it. And we had a very nice surprise that Scarlett actually won. She won the Toyal Rumble by eliminating Brandon and Tommy simultaneously. They were on the outside having a scuffle. Scarlett delivered a drop kick, and they both dropped to the outside, and Scarlett was the winner. She was then presented with the Hot Tag Foundation belt by none other than John Winnicky, who celebrated like she'd just seen her own daughter win the Toyal Rumble. But that's just Nikki, because she's
going to message you after this saying, what the hell are you slagging me off for?
Not slagging off at all. I'm bigging her up. She's brilliant.
But with that match, though, they had women and men in the same ring, which were really good to actually see that they worked together really, really well. But having that, it was fair. There were no like, oh, you're not being in ring because you're a woman, all right, like this. It were really good that there's none of that anymore. And being in a ring with other men as well, it's like we're no different, and they can still do the same moves that everyone else is doing, which were really good, and you could see that in the match as well.
Yeah, and I think the thing is, to add on what you've just said there, I mean, Scarlett held her own during that ring, because as you said, Jay, there were some heavy hitters during that match, let's be honest.
Definitely would. I mean, there were a couple of spots where I was thinking they might be getting a bit rough here with Scarlett because they don't want her to win, sort of thing. But I've got to say, the wrestlers in total looked after each other very, very well. I think they all did absolutely fantastically to look after each other, make sure that everyone was safe. And yeah, just it were a great event in total. Some fantastic wrestling, some fantastic spots and things like that. Just a real sense of professionalism, and yeah, I've no qualms with this event whatsoever. I hope that we can go back to Kingdom Wrestling again and do another one of these, because I really enjoyed it.
Absolutely. And if Kingdom Wrestling are watching this and they want us to come, do you know what I mean? Reach out to us. Do you know what I mean? If we're free, we'll be there, right?
Definitely, bud. So, shall we move on to the actual ratings themselves and the categories?
Okay, go ahead.
So, for match card, what would you say is your match of the night, Liam?
It's got to be Rumble. Do you know what I mean? It has to be. Do you mean I'm not knocking that opening match, by the way, because that was a solid match, but there were so many great things in that Rumble. Like I said, seeing the trainees having the chance to perform, some of the people you've never seen. The thing with collectively the fast count, I'm going to have to admit that because I thought that was interesting. And Scarlett winning, do you know what I mean? I was so happy for her.
Definitely, mate. I definitely agree. Would you agree, Shannon, or do you have a difference?
Well, like you said, there were good spots in every single match, and how well they were wrestling as well. Like in total, I couldn't really properly pick a full best match, but like I think I agree with the Rumble with being so much happening. Yeah, it was crazy, but it was good. It were a good crazy, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But like you said, it's just really good to see the trainees and stuff like that and give them that opportunity as well.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, who would you give as your performer of the night, Liam?
That is tough because there were some really good ones. Can I pick three? Because I can't pick one.
Go on then.
Right. So number one for me, Onyx. Do you know what I mean? I thought he really did obviously do well in that Rumble. Young Horus, do you know what I mean? I think he took an absolute beating in that match against Hamed and really held his own. I think he was in the Rumble for quite a while as well.
I think we're in for a good 15 minutes.
Yeah, absolutely. And then, of course, Scarlett. Do you know what I mean? I feel like I said she took a heavy beating, you know, some of them heavy hitters, and to win it the way she did. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, that's my top three.
Yeah. If I were to pick one, I would probably give it to Billy O'Keefe. Just because he went into the match against Jack. Obviously, Jack being the world champion, been world champion for quite a while, and just you didn't really expect Billy to win. So it was a nice feel-good moment to have Billy win the title, and the way that he actually won it was really good. That he kept grafting, and didn't let Jack's underhanded ways get the better of him, sort of thing. John?
Big John, like I said about how tall he was and the move that I really wanted him to do. It'd be good to see if he does actually use that moves and what other moves he's actually got. But if they ever do a team with them two, with Big John and Big Bopper, sorry. And we're hoping to be there, so that would be a really good one to see. As well as I forgot her name now.
Scarlett.
Scarlett, she was really good, and I was really impressed with her as well, and we are winning as well, which it's really hard to do that against so many people in that match where it could have gone either way for anybody, and to be the winner, and it's just like mind blowing as well. As well as but there's not a lot I can really pick from because there were that many good people and the way they were wrestling as well. I think everyone's done a really good job, and you should all be proud of yourselves at what you're doing and how you're achieving everything.
I'm impressed. Yeah.
Could talk for chuff in England, this woman.
Do you know what, though? She speaks a lot of sense. I'm just going to say that.
Yeah, definitely. So, is there any honourable mentions that you want to put out there at all, Liam?
Being involved in a Lunatic Louise entrance.
Yeah, I forgot about that because he actually came and high-fived us, didn't he, when he were doing his entrance? That was quite cool.
Yeah.
If I were going to send out a special mention, I'd definitely say Louise. But I'd also say Steve Grimshaw. He was one of the referees that was at the show. He didn't have much to do, But I think that the match that he was involved in, the Fatal 4-Way, I think he did really, really well keeping the fluidity of that match going. Obviously, he got involved with make sure that the wrestlers knew the timing and everything like that, which is obviously a big thing. And for me, Steve, he's one of my favorite people in UK wrestling. He's absolutely brilliant. I had him on I had him on my podcast. He's one of the most viewed on my channel at 433 views, which is insane. Yeah, just an absolutely lovely guy. And I think that Steve deserves a lot of praise for the work that he does for these companies and this and what have you. The other special mention that I want to send out is a shout out to Gareth himself and the guys at Kingdom Wrestling, just for giving us that space and that platform just to do what we did. They didn't have to give us anything. They could have said, no, we don't want you to come, this, that, other, whatever. But they were really welcoming. And last thing, I want to send a special thank you to that photographer, because he lent us a USB-C cable, because I left my USB-C cable that connects to my camera at home because I'm a massive pillock. So if the photographer watches this, if he does, thank you very much, mate. Really appreciate that.
Yeah, and I think the thing is as well, I mean, obviously we want to head to obviously more shows and stuff like that. But it's not as easy, do you know what I mean? Just showing up, Joe, with camera equipment, do you know what I mean? With these are process, Jim, we have to follow.
Yeah, there's procedures that we have to follow. Obviously, we have to get in touch with the actual companies themselves. We have to get in touch with the owner, because we have to ask permission. Which obviously UKW has been very welcoming, and so has Kingdom. But obviously, we just want to make sure that if we do go anywhere else, that the people that are there are okay with us doing these sort of things. We'd be more than happy to go to anywhere that if we are free to go. Well, it's if I'm free, because you're always free to go to these shows, sort of things. So yeah, if any show companies are watching, if any owners are watching, if you want to get in touch with us, either direct messages, either myself at Wrestle Wellbeing or Liam at Magical Wrestling, then yeah, we'll try and sort something out. Should we give away what we're doing in February, bud?
Yeah, let's do it. So there's a show coming up, and we got invited by Fast Count, Planet Wrestle. So that's coming up, obviously, in February. We have obviously got the process again to follow to see, obviously, we can do the same thing. But it's like Jim said there, Jeremy, if any promotion watches this, you know what I mean, and you want us to come to your show, Jeremy, just reach out to us, you know what I mean? We'll happily come along, because, and I remember what Jeeba said to us, saying it's something different, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like we said in the car ride home, it's very rare that you see people actually going to a show and doing live reactions. Obviously, I've watched guys that like Wrestle Talk and what have you, where they do a live reaction, but they're watching a stream. So basically, it's like you're watching a stream of them watching a stream of an event, sort of thing. Whereas we're actually there in person with the crowd, with the wrestlers themselves, sort of thing. So yeah, like I said, if any companies want to reach out and what have you, we're more than happy to come to any show. Obviously, if we have the availability.
The same, obviously, with fans as well. Do you know, if you do see us at shows, because I know there's been some people where it's like, oh God, what's these guys doing? Do you know what I mean? If you see us, do you know what I mean? We are recording. You're more than welcome to come and have a quick chat. Do you know what I mean? We don't bite. Do you know what I mean? Do we really?
Well, Shannon might do.
No.
But yeah, but I think Shannon come up with a brilliant idea to put a little sign saying live reaction, which I still like that idea, by the way.
But like we said, we're improving on the equipment and stuff like that. What we're bringing each time we get feedback from everyone watching us live streams, and even when we rewatch it, we're like updating things when we're bringing stuff to a new show that we're watching. But as well, we're doing these. It helps the wrestlers out. Like, we're not putting them down. It's like we're like boosting them, boosting their confidence, but as well as telling them our feedback, what we think, and stuff like that. And I think sometimes it helps that having them goods or certain things that you think and ideas, like when me saying about, oh, I would want to see these two together or whatever. it's kind of good because it's like giving them different ideas as well as we're coming up with different stories in our heads as well.
Yeah, absolutely, and stuff like that. And it's like you said, I mean, if any wrestlers wants to come on this show, do you know what I mean, just for a chat, our messages are always open. Mine's open. Jim's is always open. Do you know what I mean? We'll happily just sit and have a chat to you. Do you know what I mean? I think the thing is, and just to expand what Shannon said there, is if we can help people get out there a bit more, do you know what I mean? Then we've done our job.
Definitely, mate. I mean, that's what it's all about. Obviously, for yourself, your podcast, Liam, it's all about the actual wrestling itself. Obviously, getting them exposure. For me, for my channel, it's all about the wrestlers coming on and talking about any mental health problems that they've had, any battles, any insecurities that they have. Because, like I said, I've always said it, that if you have problems with your mental health, if you keep it inside, it's always going to be there and it's always going to be a battle. Whereas if you verbalize it, things may not seem like they get better, but it does get a bit easier to deal with, sort of thing. And sharing it as a group is better than taking it on as a singular.
But
Well
it makes
said.
you feel better just saying it out loud as well. And even opening up to someone that you don't actually fully know sometimes just makes you feel a little bit better that you know you're not alone and no one is. It's just that in that moment you do feel alone. But knowing that there's things out there that can help you makes it even better. And with with Wrestle Wellbeing, that supports that, as well as your channel, Liam. It helps to get their stories out and knowing about how they got into wrestling and stuff like that as well, which is a really good. It's good to know more information about each person.
Exactly. Because one thing we do know, social media is obviously a big part in wrestling. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's one of the greatest things ever created in the history of man, but it's also one of the biggest cancers, really, for me, because no matter how much good people put out there, there's always the few people, and it is a minority of people that just want to bring everyone down, want to bring people down because they feel bad about themselves, sort of thing. And that's not the type of thing that we want to promote with the wrestling community. It wants to be positive vibes, wants to be, as Nikki would say, happy tears. It wants to be just bigging each other up and making each other feel better about themselves rather than putting each other down.
Absolutely. So what we'll do is we'll put all the links in, obviously, in the description. So we'll put, what should we put in? Should we put Kingdom in? We'll put Hot Tag. We'll put Fast Count. We'll put Lunatic Louise all in the description. Go and support these people. Do you know what I mean? Go and support them all because wrestling, do you know what I mean? It's for everybody, right?
Yeah,
Exactly.
it's a family.
Absolutely. And I think that's a great thing to wind down, Jim.
Yeah, definitely, mate. If you want to take us away, take us out, bud, with the final word of advice or whatever, mate, I'm going to throw it to you.
Absolutely. So yeah, I mean, like I said, I mean, go and support obviously wrestling. Wrestle Wellbeing, go check it out. He's got some incredible stuff, you know, incredible interviews with people. Same with my stuff, we've got loads of stuff in the pipeline. And as we said before, any promotion watching this, you want us to come to your show, reach out to myself, reach out to Jim. If we can make it work and stuff like that, we will be there. We have got obviously one show lined up before the year's out. We're not going to spoil it because we're going to surprise somebody, aren't we?
Oh, so we're hoping to.
And do you know what, Shannon? Do you want anything else to add? I'm going to let you take the final bit.
Just remember that you're all there together to bring people to watch the wrestling and bring a family together. Just make sure make sure that you check in on each other and make sure everyone are knowing that people are there to support them and be there for them.
Well said. Well said. Jim, take us out to the outro, pal.
Definitely. So remember, guys, as I always say, it's okay to talk. And as Liam always says,
everyone has a story to tell.
See you later, guys.